Welcome in to Dale Fisher Rink here at GFL Twin Arenas in beautiful Devon, Alberta. Here's a chance right off the bat. They score! No time for introductions. Upper Canada College has kicked the door wide open. 20 seconds into the game, and it's a rush right up the middle for Elijah Jack, the opening goal scorer, and the first game for UCC, and he'll do it again here in Game 2. Elijah Jack got the opening goal for UCC earlier today in the final second of the first period. He'll do the opposite this time as he'll kick the door open within the first 20 seconds. What an effort there as he dangles his way up the middle and deposits on the back end. A sensational move for Elijah Jack. So welcome. Now that you have had an introduction into this game and the type of fast-paced action that only the Canadian Crown can provide, how's it going? Ian Wilson with you on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trick Shot Sports Production that does not miss. Happy to bring you this game to wherever you find us from. Rebound set wide off an initial pad save from Franson. As the St. Albert Sabres getting their introduction. Or rather, I believe this may be their second game. I'll double check that briefly. Rounded behind the cage, out the near side. St. Albert throw it to the middle as that puck will work its way around to the far side. As for these two sides, the opportunity to finish off day number one on the right note is definitely imperative. So yes, so far, UCC coming away with the win earlier today. And St. Albert dropping their contest earlier. St. Albert dropping a 7-2 decision to NAX earlier today over on Zender Rink. While UCC, they came away with a 5-4 victory over the LA Junior Kings. So a couple of teams that got a game off, and now they are right back into the thick of it. And no better way to kick off your second game of the day than with a goal within the first 20 seconds. So UCC certainly not taking any shifts off. Face off, one back to Selby. Pass off the near wing. St. Albert send it right back in as the Sabres now looking to see if they can find a way to battle back into this contest. Raiders work it down and behind the cage. Battling was Knox Keeler. Opposite side, Elijah Jack. As Cito able to knock that one down but paid the price, and now Elijah Jack. Left wing into the zone, looking to poke it forwards. St. Albert unable to cleanly break out of the zone. Puck will bounce off the timekeeper's area. Tried to drag it through. Cito, the captain of this Sabres squad. Round and behind the goal, and out the near side for Mason Timko. Dragged that puck through and shot back in by Zach Ruptash as Higgins tracking back for UCC. They've got their chrome domes on today. They wore them this morning, and they got them again here this evening with their blue jerseys. Far side knocked down by Kyle Witchen. As Witchen, that shot off of the wall, and around it goes and behind the cage. Bick tried to knock it into the zone, and back it goes. UCC down against the wall near side. Sykes and Selby as the captain of UCC will play it off of the window. And ahead it goes for Bick, looking to power around the outside. Bick in, takes it in behind the cage, and ends up rubbed out against the boards there on the far side. Good recovery by the defenseman. Here go St. Albert into the zone, stopped and shot around the wall. In it goes, and out the far side. Van Owen hits a piece of his man as the Sabres look to try and turn on the offense as McCaig around the outside. Now here's Noble. Centering pass off a skate goes wide. Finn Smith in the middle. Opportunity there, doesn't get much on it. A backhander falling down was steered aside by the defense. Puck comes around to the near side. Finn Smith continuing to battle. Down low against Trevor Earl. Back down at the line is Babali. Over far side, they'll play it up the boards. Francesco Letteri backing off. 2-goal game for him earlier today. As Letteri gets it back onto the forehand, pass ahead. They'll work around the outside. Tried to cut through to the left. Now back to the right as it's tipped off a skate and comes back into the corner. Francesco Letteri going to head off on the change, and he's replaced as Burrison steps out onto the ice. Shot blocked. Selby thought about coming in on that one, and he holds it onside. UCC looking towards the cage. Here's a wrister through traffic. They score! Lightning strikes twice as UCC get on the board early again. 2-0 for Upper Canada College. Ethan Andre gets the shot to go from the slot, beats the netminder on the glove side as UCC just tucked it inside the post, and they've doubled up their advantage here early at 2-0. St. Albert off to a rough start. Need to stop the bleeding and find ways to keep UCC to the outside. Couple of opportunities there that the goaltender would like back. As another rush for Jack to the near side. Jack taking it to the wall on the near side. The scrum continues here as the Sabres try to get it out of the zone. Selby shot it. Elijah Jack back to Selby at the line. Shot deflected in front. Coming across near wing as the Sabres tried to chip it ahead off the near wall. That's chipped into UCC territory, earning the change for St. Albert. Burrison tipped into the neutral zone. Sykes going after it, fired right back in. Selby checking the shoulder, near side, finishing off a check as St. Albert round down low near side and behind the goal and out the other wing. Uptash. Back it goes out up high. Franson, that one actually landed on top of the cage. As a sighting there for number 16 on UCC. Mr. Brandon Sue, the Hustle and Heart recipient for Upper Canada College in their contest earlier today. Again, every single game, 4 awards are handed out. A Hustle and Heart award on both sides, and then a Player of the Game award to go alongside it. One back shot goes wide of the goal. Franson watched it there as Sue wins the puck battle. Pass to Babali in behind the cage. As Keeler across, turn, fire, blocked. Sue able to chip it off of Smith and tracking back for it. The Raiders will send it across to the near side. Reaching for it was Carver Brown. Timko in front of the benches looking to shove Babali off of the puck. Back for it first was Higgins. Higgins took the hit to make the play. Far side, centering pass. Keeler tipped it on goal. Franzen didn't have a lot on it, so just had to steer it wide with the paddle. Keeler up to the line it goes as Driver. Then curling there, Samuel Thorpe plays it to the middle. Here's a look for Timko. Timko on the outside, shields the puck, feeds it to the middle as Sue with it now. Sue, chip and chase forward as Timko tracking back. Then the Sabres jump up and dump it in. Huscroft to the far corner, reverses down low. They'll play it off of the end boards as Witchin taken down. Letteri passes up the wall. Earl looking to flip it forwards. Held in by St. Albert. Earl battling on the far side. Back to Letteri. Letary off the wall as they reach across for it does Sam Thorpe. D to D, Thorpe with it again. Building pace right up the middle. Thorpe, nice moves. Wrister, glove save by Franson. Franson with a great glove save there as all the time and space in the world coming up the middle. A wicked wrister. Franson having to react quickly to that one on the near side. UCC. Defensive zone face-off draw. St. Albert going to look to try and levy this pressure as Jack will head into the circle. Going up against Ruptash. Timko to the line. Off the wall. As UCC will play it off the boards. Out it goes and then fired back around the near side. As Letary played it off of the wall. To the middle, broken up by Andre. He'll send it forward. As the offside is the call. Rui Asal, multi-goal game himself this morning for UCC. Came away with a beautiful tip into the top corner. As now Sykes, Higgins, Burrison, and company coming out here for UCC. Some fresh legs as they look to press the advantage. Currently, Upper Canada College are up 2-0, 11-19 left to go. As conversation happening there for the players in behind the lines official. Now a clean drop of the puck and away they go. Cito sends it ahead off the wing. Chip and chase for the Sabres. Round and behind the goal it goes. As Witchen, near side under pressure by Burrison. Witchen back up to the line. Raiders a backhander. Near side Witchen to the middle. Tipped just wide of the near post. Buchanan going right at his man, and a penalty coming here against the Sabres as a result. Off to the bench goes Franson. Nice move for Sykes around and behind the goal. Shields the puck. Extra attacker on the ice. Sykes centers, and it's taken away by the Sabres. Touched up by Cruz Buchanan. As the penalty will be coming here to Lane Huscroft of Claremont, Alberta. He'll be in the sin bin for a few. As the play, it was down low right in front of us on the near side, just a little bit too physical as he went after, I believe it was Higgins on the play in behind the goal. Fired off of the wall. That will be an early clear for St. Albert. About halfway gone by with this opening period. It's 2-0 for UCC. As 20 seconds into the game, they came away with an absolute beauty courtesy of Elijah Jack. And then they followed it up with a wicked wrister of Ethan Andre. So UCC putting their mark on this game early on. Left wing circle, looking, passing off to the right side, and now a chance to try and make it 3-0 if they can manufacture a power play goal. Right circle now at the half boards. Down low to the goal line, passing behind the cage, spinning around with Sykes. Back out left wing side. Center point, Letary. Right circle, centering feed, missed everybody. Elijah Jack now off the boards to himself. Under pressure, goes back to Letary. Wrister tipped and goes high and wide. Far side circle, gathering it there is Ethan Andre. Left side, Jack. Centering pass across to Andre, just out of his reach. Ethan Andre turns the corner up high. Left wing side, waiting, shooting off the crossbar. Andre looking for his second goal of the game. Labels one off of the crossbar, and it stays 2-0. Off of the boards, captain of UCC is Sykes. Gave it away. St. Albert able to clear. 32 seconds left on the power play. So Sykes tracking back to his own zone under pressure. Brady McDonald saying hello on that play. As Witchen all over Letary. Able to generate the turnover, but Bick is there in support. 14 seconds on the power play. Bick gets around his man. Centered in front, no good. Chipped it off the wall. UCC trying to knock it forward, spinning around in the far circle. Turn, fire, and that's cleared down ice. Back to 5 aside as the player steps out of the box and back onto the ice. We are even strength once again. Centering pass, tipped off to the other side. 3-2, your shots on goal. As right wing chipped into the zone, back in behind the cage. First onto it was Knox Keeler. Shot tipped, knocked down loose in front, and it's controlled as the Sabres sending out Baron Bruinsma, number 29 here in this game. One of the many prides of St. Albert, Alberta that are on this roster. In fact, basically every player that I have listed outside of Knox Keeler and Lane Huscroft, I think everybody else on this Sabres roster is from St. Albert. At least that's what I have listed. You never know. There could be a clerical error somewhere. Down low as they'll play it off of the boards near side. Shot deflected high and wide. Far side wall as they'll chip it up towards the blue line. Now the Sabres with pace. Far wing as Burrison cuts him off on the wall. Here's Timko. Timko shields the puck. Caught Selby up high. Sue taken out against the end of the cage. Burrison forward. Finn Smith pinching was able to hold it in. Sue and Keeler come together. Burrison trying to fish this one forward alongside Sue. Scrum ensues as they try and win the battle here as Sue just keeps shoveling it down low below the goal line. Keeler uses the size advantage, wins the battle, spins against the board, centers in front, nobody home. Burrison will take it away alongside Noble, but that's a penalty coming here, a tripping call against UCC. So Selby is heading to the sin bin. 7:21 left in the first period. Two minutes up on the board for tripping. And with a 2-0 game in favor of UCC, the Sabres are definitely going to be looking to take advantage of this man advantage. Buchanan, Ruptash, as well at the line will be Smith McIntyre and company. Witchin just about able to tip that home at the near post, but it goes wide. Far side blue line, back to the middle. Out of the reach of Ruptash. Back for it. They'll backhand it off the corner wall. To the line it goes. Across. Passing off. Ruptash tried to drag it through. Chopped it down low to Witchin. Witchin and Letary battling in the near side corner. Here's Witchin. Cut to the front and puts it over top of the goal. A sharp angle for Witchin to work with, but still able to get that shot away. He cut hard from below the goal line. Just between the bottom corner of the dot and the crease, but elevated that puck at too sharp an angle over top of the cage. Off the drop, one back to the blue line for St. Albert. Towing the line, passing it off with Smith McIntyre. Shot over top of the goal, goes around far side, held in again by St. Albert. Center line, give and go. Sabres, shot, saved by Franson, and they get a quick whistle, but it was cleared away anyways. Quick stick there by Babali and Letary. As they knock it out of harm's way, the whistle went, and you saw Letary got the stick there. So either way, be it the whistle or the stick of Letary, they avert disaster there. Still holding on to this 2-0 advantage, RUCC. Played it off of the end wall, Babali chasing after it. As Noble steps in between him and the puck and tried to clear it out of the zone. Babali still there to support against the battle with Timkow. Joining the fray, Babali shoves his man off him as Van Oen was looking to get involved in the fray. Keeler to the middle, carries it across the top of the zone. Nice pass, freeing up time and space. Across to the near wing. Keeler back for it. Keeler turns the corner, waits, takes off the mask of Franson. As Thorpe holds the line, under heavy pressure by Bick. Keeler takes it away. Keeler to the opposite side. Raiders in front, or I should say Sabres. I knew it was going to happen at least once. We have the same thing with the U17 tournament because they were the St. Albert Flyers, despite also having the Raiders jersey on. Now these are the St. Albert Sabres, but they too still have the Raiders jersey on, as of course the Raiders, I believe, the parent U18 organization that all these younger generation teams fall under. So if I call them the Raiders, I do apologize. It'll just be a natural reflex every once in a while as I see the jersey. Off the draw. That'll be waved out. New centerman coming in. Asal unable to cleanly send that one out of harm's way. Wrister, glove, rebound, saved as well by Franson. Standing tall so far here. As the puck sent down ice, the official checking all angles as, of course, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Back is Higgins. Gets to it first, plays it off the wall. Sykes will then send it the rest of the way. Off the wall, around it goes, and to the near corner. Onto it is Burrison. Burrison around it goes to Higgins. As the two defenders looking to keep possession here for UCC. Bank pass off the wall, set up for Sykes. Sykes with speed, attacking right wing. Stops up, curls to the forehand, centering pass, deflected through to the netminder. It went off the skate of a Sabre in front. It looked like it hit Carver Brown. And Mr. Bruinsma had to be careful on that one. As, we saw that deflect off the skate of the player, and Rui Asal was in the area. 4:42 left here in the first. Still 2-0 Upper Canada College. As the Raiders, they'll chip that one and put a nice fresh dent in the steel. It's an old barn here at Dale Fisher. They have had plenty of dents in the ceiling over the years. (6-4) your shots on goal. Still a 2-goal advantage for the designated road side. As a little Ontario versus Alberta action here. UCC hailing from Ontario, and of course St. Albert, from St. Albert, Alberta. Raiders, or Sabres, on the outside as Huscroft taken away by Noble. Played up, misses a few sticks and bounces off in between the benches. Back is Smith-McIntyre. McIntyre. Cito passes it ahead. Near wing, a look for Cruz Buchanan. Gains the zone, but just ahead of him offside was Lane Huscroft. They'll try it again from neutral ice. As for these teams, we have a look at some of their schedule coming up for tomorrow. As we will see the St. Albert Sabres taking on the LA Junior Kings, 2 o'clock here on Fisher. And then as for UCC, they will be taking on NAX 2:30 over at the Zender Rink. Again, here at GFL Twin Arenas. As all the other teams that only played one game today, they will have their chance to play a pair of games tomorrow. And they will find a way, of course, to get themselves sorted for the semifinal Saturday. All the teams here playing 3 contests, playing each of their current pool opponents once. Based off of their points and goal differential, we will be able to decide these semifinal pools for Saturday, and it's win and you're in. Every team will get a second game after that semifinal game. C Division will be playing on Saturday night, while B and A Divisions will play their bronze and gold medal games respectively on Sunday. Played off of the wall, and out it goes. Sabres in hot pursuit. Timko working in on Selby. Selby plays it off of the wall as Rui Asal to the middle for Higgins. A look now as they turn the corner. Jack throwing the body around. Near side, Ruptash down to the near side goal line, turns around. Ruptash dropped it off. Ethan Andre with the steal. Ruptash is there though, one man to beat. Andre with Sykes. Andre's shot denied by Bruinsma. as they kick their way to the middle, send it down low. Can they feed it back in front? Here's Lettieri at the right point, back to the left circle. Andrew, the shot, blockered away. Might have been the shoulder there on the short side of Bruinsma. St. Albert now on the attack, poked away by the defense, and then taken away from Jackson. Arm is up as then Lettieri puts it off of the wall. Sykes, as then Cito fired it right back in. As Sykes will send that to the far side. Played it forward, following up. As they send it into the zone, delayed offside was nullified as Jackson centers. Here's a pass to the back door. What a stop there by Franson! Got that toe to the back post and somehow keeps that puck out. Beautiful extra pass by St. Albert, but it will not matter as Franson keeps that door locked and closed. There it is. Right at that back door was McDonald, and Franson reacts, puts his pad down in the right spot, and gets that toe on it. Pass across by McIntyre. Cito high and wide off of the end boards. Under 2 to go here in the first. As Haig to the goal. Stick is loose as it's gathered in behind the cage by Sykes. Sykes carries to the backhand, kicks it from skate to stick, gains the red, gains the blue, takes the shot, paddled away by Bruinsma. Here's a look for St. Albert heading up ice. They'll chip it off of the back leg as the Raiders to the far side looking. Curl off, Witchin. Tried to play it down low, knocked out of the way by Babali. Across left wing side, Sabres shot from the line into the glove of the netminder, and he'll hold on with 1:10 left to go. Reactionary save combined with right place, right time for Franson. That pad down and keeps it a 2-0 game. Face off here, Ruptash and McCaig, as McCaig will win it back. Sends it around. Noble looking to follow up. Sabres hold the line, and then UCC will send it right back out. As the Sabres up the near side, a backhander into the attacking zone. Franson will stay in the crease as Higgins backhands to the near side. UCC play it forward to McCaig. Out there with Noble and Earl. Gains the blue onside, trying to play it to the middle, broken up by St. Albert. Down to 35 seconds left here in this opening frame. Dragged it through as they chip it around in behind the cage. A chance there. Picking up the rear was Sam Driver. Pass up the near side now for Cruz Buchanan. Buchanan wins the battle there. Passes off far wing. St. Albert drop it back. Following up was Ruptash. Can't hold the line there. Down to 5 seconds left here in the opening frame, and that should basically do it. 2-0. Your score after 20, as here from Dale Fisher, we have found ourselves a lead for Upper Canada College. As the team from Ontario finding a way to an early advantage, and they carry it for the duration of the opening frame. As we welcome you back into the broadcast booth, the Crow's Nest up in the corner here at Dale Fisher. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trickshot, sports production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us wherever you find us from. We have got a 2-0 game on our hands in favor of UCC, and Elijah Jack as well as Ethan Andre to blame for that, as Jack with a sensational move up the middle to split the defense and finish off on the backhand. No time for introductions as he comes away with a goal less than 30 seconds into the game. Then Andre, not long after that, 2 big goals early on for UCC as they establish their offensive flow, and they come away with a solid early going here in this one. On the side of St. Albert, they've had some good looks. They made that extra pass to the back door as McDonald nearly able to cut the lead in half with what should have been a tap into the back door, but Franson able to get his pad across and get his toe to the back post to kick it aside and keep it a 2-0 game. Both netminders having a lot to deal with in that opening 20 as teams getting the feeling out process in there, but so far so good for Franson, who coming away with a perfect first period, and of course that pad save the best of his work in that opening 20. We've got some interviews for you during the intermission shows, and we're going to throw to one right now. So don't change that dial. We had a chance to catch up with some of the folks that are going to be lurking around the GFL Twin Arenas, the scouts, the general managers, all those folks that are excited to see how the progress has been treating these players, how have they been developing here in this season as they work closer and closer to the CHL draft. Let's hear from one of those voices here as the intermission show rolls along. How's it going, Canadian Crown fans? Ian Wilson alongside Leland Mack, the Director of Scouting for the Prince George Cougars, ahead of the Canadian Crown coming up very, very soon. Leland, thank you for taking the time out to have a discussion with us.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
You are somebody who is very familiar with this tournament. You've gone from coaching in it to now you are going to be scouting in it. So, of course, you obviously bring forth a bit of a unique perspective on the events that happen within this tournament. What can you tell us about it and how excited you are to be back in a different capacity?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it next weekend for sure. Last year was cool. It was the first time I'd ever coached against the Shattuck St. Mary's team, which I believe is back this year in the tournament. So that was a big moment. We didn't do too amazing in the tournament, but the tournament was so good. Every game was you're playing a really good team with only 12 teams. The caliber was super high, and yeah, it was a good memory from last year for sure.
And now in your capacity as the Director of Scouting, coming back and having an opportunity to look at all of these players in a different light. For you, what are some of the things you're most excited about with a tournament of this caliber from a scouting perspective?
Well, we watch a lot of games and we go to a lot of tournaments over the season. And what's nice about this tournament is, and among the scouts, we always talk about it, is what's great about the Crown is there's no bad games to watch. Like no matter which of the 12 teams you're watching, it's a good game. And even when it carries on to the next sort of playoff round, there's always good games. And you never know how the games will actually go as far as results go, but there'll always be lots of players for the scouts to watch every single game, which is all you could really ask for, I think.
Well, and especially with this format where every game matters. If you end up coming away with a loss, it can drastically change the way the tournament unfolds. So there's that added pressure on these players each and every contest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as scouts, it doesn't matter as much who wins or who loses the games, but the context of every game being very important does make the tournament that much more exciting, where you know that it's not just like a round robin game and we know we're going to be here, but they're really playing for something every game. Like you said, like I think last year we lost our first game to St. George's or something like that, and it made it tough we really knew we had to beat Shaddix and we had to beat I think St. Albert we ended up playing as well. So it's a tough tournament, but scouting wise, what's great is it's a nice facility, it's easy to move around. You can either, as a scout, you can either pick one rink and just kind of watch that game, or you kind of bounce back and forth, which is easy to do in that facility. But yeah, no, every game mattering, just that makes the tournament way much better and is good for seeing players under pressure for sure.
We're going to see the players under pressure. We're going to see a lot of skill on display too, but as well the intangibles. Obviously, we know the skill is a very important thing because it gets you so far, but then there's that extra bit that pushes you over the edge. When it comes to the Prince George Cougars, what are some of the things that you guys are looking for when you come out to this tournament?
Just competitiveness and hockey sense, and then on the intangible side, like you said, obviously character is a big deal. So sometimes scouting wise, it's tough to see character from further back. It's easy when you're coaching because you're around the players every day and you know they're true characters. But scouts, we got to dig in. We got to watch the players closely. We got to watch them when they're on the bench. Maybe even see them when they're warming up before the game and get a little feel for who they are as a person. But yeah, the intangibles is a big part of it for the Prince George Cougars for sure.
Last thing we have for you is just leave us off with a message ahead of this big prime caliber tournament.
Well, thanks to Northern Alberta Extreme and everyone there for helping host this event. It's definitely a big event on all the scouts calendars of the year, and I don't know what the weather will be like, but it doesn't really matter because we're inside all the time. But yeah, we have about 4 or 5 scouts coming from the Cougars, and I know all the other WHL teams will have a bunch as well. So yeah, looking forward to the Black Jackets invading Devon there.
It's going to be a fantastic time. Well, thank you very much, Leland, for taking the time, and we look forward to seeing you soon at the Canadian Crown.
See you there. Thanks. Looking forward to it too.
Elevator, but the ranks on the way with the fleet. Take a seat or stay out of reach. Word is mine, I ain't claiming a piece. Throne is mine, but I stay on my feet. Locked and loaded, I pray that you get low. If you rollin', I pray you don't get cold. Is you ready for war, my brother? Is you ready for war, my brother?
Backing up.
That here comes Burnaby. Pass was picked up. Now in front. Quick shot scored!
Yeah, don't ask if you're thinking we different. You trash and I'm picking the litter. I'ma spend a whole bag, I'm still getting rich. Really it figures, life's the bitch, now I'm intimate with it. Got hunger but I'm skipping the dinner to give him the picture. Get him my gold, they ain't giving the silver. They ain't really the winners long as you still in the mix. That's a real bad look, brother. Now I got them all shook, brother. I ain't playing by the book, brother. They'll be reading what it took,
On the
brother.
doorstep,
Soon enough you'll be understood, brother. Started doing everything I could, now I'm doing what you can in case you mistook. Place with grace but I can't stay put. I'm made to be self-made and make way with the fleet. Take a seat or stay out of reach. Word is mine, I ain't claiming a piece. Throne is mine, but I stay on my feet. Locked and loaded, I pray that you get low. If you rollin', I pray you don't get cold. Is you ready for war, my brother? Is you ready for war, my brother?
Backing up.
Welcome back inside of Dale Fisher Rink at the GFL Twin Arenas here in beautiful Devon, Alberta, the home of NAX, as well as the Devon Extreme. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trick Shot, sports production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us wherever you find us from as we share with you all the best of the Canadian Crown U15 Elite. This tournament bringing together some of the best and brightest in U15 action from across North America. The scouts have come out from far and wide to have a look at what makes these teams special. Of course, trying to check in with all these players. And this is an important year, the U15 year, as the CHL draft looms large for a lot of these players and a chance to showcase their talent, showcase what it is that makes them a teammate you want to have out on the ice. UCC finding themselves with a 2-0 lead through 20 minutes as Elijah Jack and Ethan Andre coming away with some fantastic opportunities in the opening 20 minutes. Can they continue on that path, or will St. Albert find a way? Speaking of, UCC dropped it back. Here's the wrister tip towards the goal, goes wide. Tried to play it back in front as Keeler will pull it in behind the cage. The second period well underway here. It's our final game of the first day for this U15 Crown. Glove save for Franson as he holds on. Again, Baron Bruinsma of St. Albert, Alberta. On one side, it's Ryan Franson from Toronto, Ontario. On the other, again, Alberta versus Ontario action here from Dale Fisher. The OG rink here at GFL Twin Arenas before they added in Shane Zender over on the far side. Of course, Tino Farah and company over on that rink covering all the action this week and weekend. Here's a rebound in the slot. They score! Puck on a silver platter in between the dots and hammered home as the Sabres get on the board. Lane Huscroft makes no mistake as he sees that puck in a very generous area. It hit the pile of bodies in front, and he knew exactly where to go. Huscroft able to send that one to the back of the goal and ripple the twine. It's 2-1. As we reset from center ice, UCC now with a chance to try and respond after the Sabres get their opening goal in this contest. As both teams playing in their second contest here today, as UCC picked up the win against the LA Junior Kings earlier today, while St. Albert dropped their decision against NAX. Here's a wrister, Franson the save, as Huscroft again just fortuitous in his location. After that puck had bounced off of the bodies in front of the goal, nobody saw where it landed except for him, and he made a beeline for that puck. Face-off, left wing side, as the teams will get square inside their zone. One back, wrist shot into the glove of Franson once again. Now, how will the adrenaline favor or potentially hinder St. Albert? Can they channel all of that excess jump and energy in a positive direction? Can they keep the momentum squarely moving forward? Thorpe from distance, high and wide left. As that one was off of the back window, goes back to McIntyre at the line, and it ends up down and behind the cage. Played off of the wall as Earl looking to knock it forwards, sends it rink wide. Babali over the line, offside, as McKay was one stride too far on that far wing. So they'll head back into the neutral ice area. Fresh legs going to come out for both sides to reckon with this next set of play. As we've got Haig, Thorpe, Witchin. As well on that far side will be Carver Brown, and back at the blue line as well is still Smith McIntyre. UCC keep it onside. They'll play it across as Rui Asal going after it down low. Andre tried to center. No good as it's played off of the boards. Haig getting it out the other way. Rui Asal chipped free to Sam Thorpe. Nice play to the forehand. Thorpe, left wing side. St. Albert, rink wide feet, a wrister. And it goes into the pile and comes out. Here's a quick shot through traffic, and that one goes high and wide. St. Albert back to the right blue line as they chip it off of the boards to themselves. Good work by Carver Brown. Off of the end boards as the Sabres play it back to the line. Little chip and chase off of the wall. Back for it down low. As Higgins tried to knock it back up towards the line. Can't clear. Held in again by St. Albert. Nice check against the wall as a penalty coming up here. Going to go against UCC. As I believe they were pointing at Rui Asal. The official going to come across and make the signal to the timekeepers here. It'll be head contact, the penalty. That going against Mr. Rui Asal. Face-off coming left wing side to the middle. Turning to try and fire. Wicked on the one-timer from the left dot, and then it's cleared down ice by UCC. Bruinsma out of his cage will poke it to the far side as they work it. In behind the goal is Smith McIntyre. Just about stolen away by Sykes. Got it to Ruptash. In over the line. Ruptash following up. Spinning around as they'll send it off of the wall. And that'll hop, skip, and a jump in front of the benches out to St. Albert territory. Sabres now looking to set up again. Right wing side. Chip and chase as they'll put it in on the right wing side. Goes in behind the goal and out the near wing. Still down in UCC territory. Holding it in was McIntyre. McIntyre under pressure by Bick. McIntyre to the middle. Here's a wrister, blocked, deflected wide. Near side corner as they pivot onto the forehand. Kyle Witchin. That one tried to send it back to the line. Will go all the way back down to Bruinsma. Leaves that one for McIntyre. As he'll put that one on the right wing side. Nice move with speed is Ruptash. Ruptash attacking. Nice dangle to the forehand. Thought about a wraparound. The defender was there. Ruptash to the middle. Shot through traffic. Never made it through to Franson. As UCC together, they're able to clear. So, pardon me, it was not actually Rui Asal that got the penalty. It was indeed Selby that came away with that trip to the sin bin. Down low, they'll knock the player down and collect the puck. The Sabres circling the wagons. Tried to feed it left side. Wrister fought off by Franson. Back to the line. Center blue line now for Thorpe. Back to the right wing. Looking towards the cage. Pass off for Thorpe. Onto the backhand. Curls around to the forehand. Wrister through traffic. Goes wide. Down low into the corner. Tried to center. It was blocked. Second chance in front. Blocker stop by Franson. Great opportunity up high. Another one whistles wide. Franson standing tall right now and keeping his team with a 1-goal lead. In behind the cage, out the far side along the half wall, UCC. As we tick by 6 minutes gone by in this second period. Some good opportunities there with the special teams for St. Albert. Can they generate some momentum off it? Is a wrister blocked. UCC gather. Get it across the center line and drag it into the zone. McCaig going to go after it. McCaig taken off of the puck by Driver as Andre. Now Driver, right wing side. Poked away. UCC down low. Centers, they score! Second of the game for Ethan Andre. Took the contact, but still got it to go to the top shelf. Andre, a solid effort there. Go to the tough areas and thou shalt be rewarded. As Andre takes the hit to make the play, but still gets it to go. A pretty goal in that top corner glove side. Beautiful pass as well by Elijah Jack. A multi-point game for that young man as he got the goal scoring started for UCC, and then patience paying off as he spotted his teammate right in the middle and fed him a perfect pass to tip upstairs on the one-timer. In the corner, back to the line now for Smith. Left wing, tried to curl towards the cage. It went off the stick as Burrison will take him into the wall near side. Up it goes to the line. Here's Smith through traffic, tipped towards the goal. Puck is loose. Down was the netminder, and somehow it stays a 2-goal lead. Now, where, oh, where did that puck go? Do we have the behind the net cam on that side right now? Because that looked like a solid glove save potential there from Franson. 3-1 is your score. As we'll see here, Franson going down after the initial save, and again the rebound just kind of staying near his pad. So he's able to cover up for safekeeping. 19-8 the shots on goal in favor of, well, it is in favor right now of St. Albert as they have been peppering Mr. Franson, but he is coming away with some fantastic line of work here in this one. Left wing side with pace over the line, working in. Sabres try to cut to the front of the goal, forced to the outside. As Keeler to the line, Smith to the right wing through traffic, tipped wide. As Higgins takes a heavy check, still got the pass away though and bounces right back up. As St. Albert not shying away from the physicality. Sabres work it to the right point now. Here's a wrister tipped in front and a pad save there. Off of the boards, they'll play it down low, did Smith. In behind the cage. As they settle it, bring it to the forehand, back up high. From right to left and a backhander off of the wall. Raiders to the middle. And then that one is cleared, but somehow does not tag the roof. Frees up a bit of time and space. UCC forced to dump that one into the near side corner. As Smith will send it around the far side out to the neutral zone. Here's a break for the Sabres. Tried to work his way around the defense. No good as Babali shut him down. They'll shoot that one in. As the Sabres check the shoulder, Thorpe plays it to Witchen. Gets it around Elijah Jack. Here's Huscroft. Left wing side. Gets around the defender. Takes it in behind the cage. Stopped up just before he got to the net. As Thorpe pinches in. He and Asal come together. Couldn't keep it onside. Andre. 2 goals in this one. 1 man to beat. Lost control of the puck is Smith McIntyre able to shove him out of the way. Witchen gets around Elijah Jack. Using the momentum on the wing. Witchen tried to pull it onto the backhand. As he's worked into the corner now. Sabres. That puck works its way down low. In behind the cage. Bounce off of the wall. As the Sabres keep it onside. Cycled down low. And a chance there along the wall. Trading places with Ruptash. Pushed off of the puck. As Thorpe, nice move to the forehand. Got around his man. Left the puck behind and paid the price. Throwing their weight around. UCC with a heavy hit in the defensive zone. As McIntyre passes ahead to Ruptash, tried to dangle around the man in the neutral zone. Across and a one-time feed. Thorpe had it go off the stick. We're down to 10 minutes, the halfway mark remaining here in this second period, as well as this game. Far side as Timko now poked forward, then taken down. UCC muscle the puck in to St. Albert territory, as right now the Sabres finding ways to generate a lot of offense, just can't find a way to strike. Here's a wrist shot stopped by Franson. As when you look at the shot totals, now up to 21-8 in favor of St. Albert. Only one goal to show for it so far, as the U15 Elite Canadian Crown rages on. Face off, right wing side. St. Albert going to see if they can keep the ball rolling here. They've been generating a lot of solid looks in the attacking zone. UCC, though, trying to dig in defensively, and we've seen them throw their weight around defensively to try and stop this forward momentum. Most recent goal going to UCC. Of course, that was Ethan Andrews' second of the contest. Tried to work it up the boards. Puck will come to the middle for Van Oen. Right wing side as they'll work their way to the wall. Tried to send it low as they'll play it to the middle. Broken up by UCC. A chance for Upper Canada College across the red line as they dump and chase. Back for it first is Smith. Has McDonald ahead of him. And a pass across. Smith was tripped up on the play. Here's Van Oen. Dropped it back and just off the edge of the stick. Couldn't pull the trigger. In the corner on the right side. Pivoting to the forehand. Sabres spinning around with it there is Brady McDonald. McDonald runs into the defender. Gets it through to Van Oen. As Van Oen was hauled down. Couldn't make a play on that one. Thrown to the middle. Gloved ahead. As an awkward fall there for McDonald. Picks himself up. Here's the pass across. Kick forward by Smith. UCC holding it at the line. Blocked on the wrister. Tipped towards the goal. Bruinsma gets the stick on it to steer it wide. Bruinsma just spins around with the paddle, and it looks like he might have got a piece of that to steer it wide from tucking in that near side post. Let's see. Off of the rebound, he hit it with his blocker. Might have gone wide anyways, but still made contact with it, and it goes wide of the goal. Spinning around, just able to get something on that with 8:11 left to go in the second period. Back to the line, held in. Lettieri's shot, and he scores! Deja vu for Francesco Lettieri. Scored a very similar goal in the first game for UCC today, and he finds another seeing eye point shot here tonight. Just feathers it into that top corner, through the weeds, and finds its way home as the Twine Ripples and UCC are up 4-1. That's going to do it for Bruinsma, as Bruinsma is going to change out for number 31, Jackson Dvorak. A tough one for Bruinsma. 4 goals on 9 shots as that puck makes its way through all of the bodies in front. There's about 4 jerseys between Lettieri and the net. Lets it go from the line, and it just kind of perfectly finds its way under the crossbar into the top corner. So Francesco Lettieri, 3 goals for the blue liner here today. Shot through traffic, steered wide by Franson. Another one off the side of the goal on the rebound. Tried to chip it in front as they flip it forward. Our side, here's McIntyre. Pivots onto the forehand, plays it up the wall, contact against the boards. As they'll send that one ahead off of the end wall. Dvorak leaves it go as St. Albert now down by 3 here. 7:13 left to go in this second period. Looking to try and turn the tides of war here. Burrison going to be first to it. Our side. As he and Keeler come together, Ruptash gets the puck, dangles around, takes the shot over top of the goal. That'll tip up onto the netting and out of play. As the Sabres were looking for the bounce back today after dropping their first contest to NAX, the host team over on the Shane Zender rink earlier today. As NAX currently up 3-0 over on the other side against the LA Junior Kings. In our final games of the day here. And then tomorrow there will be another set of 4 games here on Dale Fisher, as well then a 5th game ongoing over at Shane Zender. As Franson has a bit of an equipment issue. He's going to be coming across. As we'll see, there's an issue with his mask. So in the meantime, it looks like we are going to see Mr. Dax Partridge come out into this contest. So Dax Partridge was the netminder in the crease earlier today for UCC as they took down the LA Junior Kings. It's a 5-4 contest, and Partridge had himself a solid showcase in that one, so got to be quick about warming up here. We'll see how long it takes the Sabres to try and test him now that he's come into this game. I wonder what happened to the mask there of Franson, as clearly it was some kind of malformity that required more than what he was able to provide attention to it. As Cito shoots it in, Partridge will leave that one off of the end boards as the defense go back to collect. UCC chip it off of the wall. St. Albert play it back to Driver. Driver swing and a miss, as tracking back for it will be Cito. Cito back across to Driver. Driver plays it forward. Has the opportunity now for Ruptash. Ruptash to his right. Here's a wrister over top of the goal. St. Albert play it back to the line. Down to around 6 minutes left in this second period. Battle down low in the corner. Comes back up high to the line. Played off of the wall. St. Albert continue to cycle that puck around the offensive zone. Here's a wrister from the line. Tipped and goes wide. Played up the middle. Poked forward. And that puck is iced. So UCC were going after it hard. Was Bick. But unfortunately not quick enough despite putting on the afterburners. As 22-9, your shots on goal. And UCC actually successfully pull the wool over the officials' eyes. It's not often that I've seen it happen, but they just got it as Bick went to the bench, and they managed to get him on the bench and Ethan Andre out onto the ice in his stead. You could see him. He sat there and he waited for the official to turn around. And as soon as the official turned around, he was in there lickety-split. Here's a look now as Buchanan works his way in. A wrister fought off by Partridge. Awkward contact against the wall, and it is going to be called, I'm assuming, a board. As we'll see here from the official, it's going to go against the Sabres. As the referee having a quick discussion with the lines official. Indeed, 2 minutes for boarding will be the call. (23-9), the shots on goal as St. Albert have been pushing and pushing and pushing in this game. They have run into a hot netminder in Mr. Franson. Ryan Franson of UCC. Of course, he had to exit this game due to an issue with his mask. And it doesn't look like he's going anywhere fast on the bench. I wonder if the training staff took the mask and is working on it back in the locker room or out in the hallway. We'll see if he's able to get back into this game because he was having a solid showing here. As Dax Partridge is in to replace him for now. As they'll curl around, Francesco Letteri. Letteri played it off of the wall. As UCC now looking to try and find a way to set up in the attacking zone. Good aggressive opportunity on the shorthanded kill here for St. Albert. Francesco Letteri in deep for UCC. Played it in behind the goal as McCaig battling with Thorpe. Reversed as it goes in behind the goal for Sykes. Sykes out the far side and up it goes to the line. Back over to Sykes. Near side for Andre. Andre to the goal. Stopped there by Dvorak. So now, here's another one into the glove of Dvorak. When you think about it, neither starting netminder is in this game. As Bruinsma started the game for St. Albert, Dvorak came in for him after the fourth goal had gone in. And now, speak of the devil, there is Ryan Franson going back into the net on the other side of the ice. So Franson's mask as Dax Partridge. Couple of salutes like, yep, you're welcome, as he heads back off to the bench. As Dax Partridge comes in, I think he made 2 saves. Some solid work here in this game. Of course, Partridge was the winning netminder for UCC earlier today in their victory over the LA Junior Kings. So you love to see the personality on these kids. As Upper Canada College have the 3-goal lead right now, 4-1 with 4 minutes left in the second period. Here's Bick. Bick to the middle. Carried to the far side. Higgins jumped into the rush. Feeds it through. Has a look on this near side for Babali. Babali at the line. Watched by Keeler. Plays it down the wall. As Higgins will play it back up to the line. Babali with it. Back over. Higgins takes the shot. Selby in the middle. Dvorak, a pair of big saves with the pad. And Big hammered from behind as Keeler got a piece of him, and then Rui Asal getting into it on the near side as well with McDonald. The two of them will be separated from one another. And we'll see right now what the penalty situation is going to be. If Keeler doesn't get something from that, I would be very surprised. He went in and gave a two-handed shove to the numbers to Bick right over top of the netminder. Bick is going to the sin bin right now, so we'll see where all this begins. It goes to the cage as they dig away at it here. The contact there is Bick gave a shove and then got two hands on the numbers from Keeler. So Bick got the initial penalty there, I think, for putting the hands up high. And then we'll see what the penalty is going to be here. Is coming across to serve on behalf of St. Albert is Kobe Jackson. So it looks like we're going to stay. Oh, possibly not. We're 5-on-3 right now. So there was two penalties somewhere in that pile on the side of the Sabres. Backhand play in front. Smith McIntyre will gather and send it down ice. And then that last one expired, so now we're back to 5-on-4, but still power play time here for UCC for 1:35. Chip and chase as Elijah Jack will play it around near side. 3 minutes left in the second period. UCC as McIntyre pass ahead to Ruptash. Ruptash a chance shorthanded if he can break away. Ruptash shoots and scores! Zach Ruptash, shaking the foundation right now, gets a shorthanded goal and brings his team back within two. That one could be the momentum swing St. Albert was looking for. They kill off a brief 5-on-3, and then Ruptash runs right to the cage and snipes it. 2:50 left in the second. A shorthanded goal is certainly a big momentum killer and a momentum booster. It's one of those great dichotomies. It depends on which team you're cheering for. Here's a wrist shot. It's blocked and then cleared away. No, knocked down. Shot just off of the post as Asal could not tip it home. Played down low. Smith will turn and fire, so still 50 seconds left in the power play time here for UCC. As Franson leaves it there. But Ruptash, a fantastic run to the goal. And what felt like a very comfortable 3-goal lead for St. Albert now feels a little more shaky. Deflected, that puck will work its way over near side. as Babali will take it in behind the cage and out the other side. Babali looking to break free. Chips it forward, tried to play it to the middle. Runs into the lines official as it's hammered around the boards. And a deflection. Here's a look now for Keeler. Keeler in, shoot, stopped by Franson. Now UCC, they survive the shorthanded break of Keeler, and in they go to the attacking zone. Taking it down low and behind the cage. As they'll play it off of the wall, and that one shot wide as Higgins initially carried it in. Now a chance, 2-on-1 on that right wing side. To the outside, tried to play it to the middle and could not find a tip onto the goal. Off the wall, McCaig tried to cut his way through. Sykes will tip it. Andry to Sykes, a wrister into the glove of Dvorak. Just over a minute left in the second period as the Sabres making this game a heck of a lot more interesting, courtesy of a shorthanded goal by Zach Ruptash. As Ruptash ripped one past Franson. That's not something that this St. Albert team has been able to do much of in this game, is solve Ryan Franson. Off of the goal. And then the face-off reset. And still here, UCC trying to push back on the momentum that was built by that shorty. Raiders, as Smith will send it around far side. Held in and played off of the wall. Coming across near side is Sykes. Pivots around at the line. Sykes looking up the middle. Pass off to Andry. Andry to the paint. Cutting across was Lettieri. Francesco Lettieri. Lettieri at the line. A backhand feed across. Pass down low to the middle. Nobody home at the back door. Lettieri a shot. Tipped off of the back window. Comes down. Smith will kick it forward and send it off of the wall. Down to 15 seconds left to go in the second period as UCC knocked down by Cito as he took the hit. And then a penalty coming here as they'll work their way into the attacking zone. And it looks like this penalty is going to carry over into the next period as the official going over and talking to the UCC bench. And I'm thinking that this is going to be an interference call on one of the players that was on the bench. If somebody touched Cito when he was being shoved into the bench by the other UCC player on the ice, that would constitute a penalty. So it looks like they were caught red-handed. And we come to the end of 40 minutes. It is 4-2. It was a 3-goal lead at one point for UCC, but St. Albert off a wicked shorthanded rush by Ruptash. It will no longer be that safe, comfortable lead. It will now look just a little bit different here as we'll turn our attention back into the broadcast booth as the intermission show kicks off here from Dale Fisher. Ian Wilson with you on behalf of the incredible crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us wherever you find us from. And now we're through 40. It is a 4-2 game in favor of Upper Canada College as the Ontario side of the equation has the upper hand. They get that way through a whole bunch of just consecutive great offensive zone pressure looks, and they get some timely goal scoring. Of course, we saw that great rush at the very beginning of the game by Elijah Jack, and then a multi-goal performance so far for Ethan Andry as UCC are getting the job done on the offensive side of the ice. Now, when it comes to St. Albert, they are not going to go into the sunset quietly. They were down by 3 goals, but then Zach Ruptash, a great rush, shorthanded, able to blow one by Ryan Franson, solve the netminder, and get his team back within 2. 2-goal lead, as they say, is one of the worst leads in hockey, and especially coming into the third period with how much pressure the Sabres have been applying throughout the generation of this first 40 minutes. We shall see if it is enough to try and turn the tide coming into this penultimate period of regulation. We got another interview queued up for you. Don't go anywhere and do not change that dial as we have got more Canadian Crown action coming up right after this.
How's it going, Canadian Crown fans? Ian Wilson alongside Dan Tenser, the Director of Scouting for the Saskatoon Blades in the WHL. Dan, thank you very much for taking the time to have a quick conversation ahead of this big tournament.
Ian, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Just start us off with telling us, what is it about these tournaments that are so special and exciting for scouts to come out and see these players?
Well, it's an opportunity to see best on best. I mean, you get a collection of talent that it's hard to find in individual weekends. So there are probably, I would say, 5 throughout the year that we make it a priority to have a significant chunk of our staff attend. And the Crown, of course, is one of them. Not only do we see a contingent of Canadian talent, which is exceptional with the variety of teams that they have attending, but also American talent, which has become, of course, with the rule changes, much more important to be able to see. So it's a fantastic opportunity for us to see some of the American teams come up to us and get an opportunity to see them play the Canadian teams head to head. And it's a fantastic evaluation. And especially, I would say, given the point of the season that we're at, it's almost the midway point, if you can believe it already. So it's a really nice sort of midway marker to see some of the progression. Maybe there's guys that you haven't seen since September, October. You get a chance to see them in the early to mid part of December and track some progress that way.
And especially in a bit of a high-stakes environment, too. Obviously, the Canadian Crown just for the bragging rights, but it's a unique environment to get to see these players go through, as you mentioned, best on best and high-quality competition.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, in league play, there will be individual games where, you can have a back-to-back and have a sort of a manageable weekend, I guess. A lot of the teams that play in tournaments of this caliber will feel that way. They'll be the strongest teams in their league. They'll have winning records in the 600 to 850 winning percentage sort of thing. They come to an event like this, and it's not like that. The pressure's on right from the start with the way the seeding works. You lose a game, it becomes dicey. You lose 2 games and you're pretty much done. You lose a game at the wrong time and it's an opportunity to win the tournament taken away from you. So there's no question that, again, I would say probably 5 times a year you get an event of this caliber. The teams come in right off the bat, dialed in for, and you get to see guys step up to the moment or not.
What are some of the things that the Blades, and I mean scouts in general, look at for players maybe beyond the raw skill? Obviously, we know that raw skill is going to take you a long way, but with tournaments like this, you guys get to see a lot of these players both on the ice and off of the ice. What are some of the things that you guys are looking for?
Yeah, I think the most important thing that I would say is to that point about raw skill. Very little of what we look at is point totals. So if you come into a tournament weekend like this and think, okay, I'm going to lead it in scoring, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's probably a pretty good indicator that you're a great player, but the points aren't everything. So you're right, the raw skill can take you a long way, but the additional things that we look at, skating ability is right at the top of the list. The game is getting faster. You can't bury guys anymore. You can't hide them. You've got to be able to skate to play the game. And part of skating is moving your feet. So that work ethic, that motor, that consistency, we're looking for guys that bring it every shift. And I break it down like this. If you're in the Western Hockey League and you're a point-a-game player, that means you get 68 points a season. So that means you're getting 1 point a game. And if you're that good of a player, you're probably getting somewhere between 20 and 25 shifts a game. So that means, let's just round it down, you've got 19 shifts a game. Every night, you're a top 10% player in the league, but 19 shifts every night, you're not getting a point. So what are you doing on those shifts? How are you helping your team win? How are you pushing the pace? How are you creating? How are you defending? What's your work ethic like? Those are the moments that we're looking at, is over and above those instances where you do produce. What other parts of the game are you bringing to the table? How are you helping your team build momentum through the game in the shifts where you don't score?
That's super valuable insight. We really appreciate that. Last thing, just give us a bit of a message or just some final words ahead of this big tournament.
I think, again, we're excited as a staff to watch it. I mean, the tournament last year was exceptional. I mean, high quality hockey games, probably 3 or 4 of the 10 best hockey games I saw all last year were at this tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing that again. So again, for these players, I think come into this not only dialed in to win, but I like to build the pressure. I don't like to downplay it. There will be teams like us, for instance, we'll have 7 scouts there. If you multiplied that by every Western League team and whoever else is coming to watch, you've got in 150 scouts plus at this tournament probably watching. There are eyes on you. Pressure is a privilege. It comes with the territory. It's going to be with you your entire career. So get amped for it. Get dialed up for it. Come ready to meet the moment. And we look forward to watching everybody play.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Dan, for taking the time, and we look forward to seeing you and your staff at the Crown.
It's going to be a great time. Thanks for having me again.
Welcome back inside Dale Fisher Rink here at the GFL Twin Arenas in beautiful Devon, Alberta, the home of the Northern Alberta Extreme and the Devon X. This is the Canadian Crown U15 Elite. The best and brightest from across North America are here to compete for U15 supremacy, and this is an important tournament as the lights are shining bright and the eyeballs on this event are aplenty. As a little bit of hijinks going on in behind the play, a possible missed delay of game or interference as a shot ticked off the edge of Franzen's mask and goes high and wide. Sabres, here's Buchanan, blocked. Nice effort by Higgins. Played back up high again. A wrister tipped off of the post as Witchen got a piece of that with the lumber, and it goes off of the post wide. Here's Witchen. Played it up the wall to Ruptash at the line. Sabres across, back to the middle, poked away. Power play time here for St. Albert. Ruptash runs into his own man behind the goal, as that one will be tipped up and out of play on the backhand. UCC holding on to a 2-goal lead coming in to this third and penultimate period of regulation play. Our fourth and final contest of this first day for the Canadian Crown. 4 more games tomorrow, 4 games on Saturday, and then 2 to finish it all off on Sunday. As Timko to the line across to McDonald. Brady McDonald across to the far side. Keeler back to McDonald. Van Oon's in the middle. Tim Cow's in front of the goal. As a look up high for Keeler, left it for Smith. Smith watched there up high by McKaig. Across as Timko was taken out in front of the goal. A war going on for real estate there. McDonald tried to whip it across to a cutting in Keeler, but it was deflected off a skate, goes back out as Smith dropped back at his own end for it. Here come the Sabres. To the middle they go. A wrister blocked off the leg of Francesco Lettieri. Another one into Franzen, and he'll hold on for safekeeping. Just over 2 minutes gone by in this third period. And it was a 4-1 game for Upper Canada College until Zach Ruptash went on a solid shorthanded run and got a wicked snapshot to blow past Ryan Franzen. Not much the netminder could do on that one, as it was a effort in all alone for Ruptash, and he made good on it. Far side taken down against the wall as the Sabres keep it alive. Holden Miller on the forecheck as sent off of the wall. Jack following in after it. Elijah Jack in on the forecheck, takes his man into the boards as St. Albert break over the red, break over the blue. In they come. Kobe Jackson off of the wall, plays it down low. Still a 2-goal game here. UCC looking to keep on driving the bus and try and steer it over the finish line. To the line it goes. Cito coming through, couldn't hold the line. It'll work to the opposite side as Carver Brown gave it away. Here's the counterattack as Burrison chip and chase into the attacking zone. As St. Albert now. I'll play that one up and a pass across the zone to the far side. Looking, shooting, blocker saved by Franzen. Down low, here's Ethan Andre. As Andre coming away with 2 goals in this game so far. Here's a look again. Flipped it to the middle, knocked away by the stick of Andre. Down low, pushed off of the puck, goes back up to the line, across far side. Higgins watching Witchen as it comes down low. Selby getting a piece of the action. Chipped off of the boards as then McKaig taken down and given an extra shot down on the ice. That's going to be a penalty to Smith McIntyre. Going to come away with a charge as he went right at the back of McKaig. Got him with the hands across the back of the neck and then gave him an extra shove down on the ice for his efforts. So it's going to be a charge, blindside, against Smith McIntyre. 2 minutes up on the board, and UCC with a chance to try and restore that 3-goal lead. 16:22 left here in the third period. So the face-off, right wing side from our perspective, waved out will be St. Albert. And back in to replace him. Power play opportunity here for Upper Canada College. Quickly off the draw, and a save there by Dvorak. As a good look for Elijah Jack, just got square on the forehand and let it fly. Went about center of mass to Dvorak though, so not much to work with there. As the face-off, left wing side now, one to the half wall by UCC. Back to Francesco Lettieri, left wing side off of the boards as they send it down low. Waiting, passing across, knocked down. Wrister blocked over top of the goal. Might have been a sure goal as Dvorak was down in the blue paint. In behind the cage, UCC, pass to the far wing. Up to the center point, Francesco Lettieri. Lettieri loading up. Can't find a shooting lane. He'll take it to the left point now. Trades places with Jack on a bounce pass off the wall for him. Elijah Jack trades places again with Lettieri. High pressure there. Sharp angle feed. Tried to find Sykes at the back post. Comes all the way back out. Jack. Snap pass right wing. Down to 1:07 on the power play. Francesco Lettieri. Drops it back, Elijah Jack. Jack, nice head fake to his left. Working in, stops up on the half wall, played it back. As here come the Sabres. As they'll play it far side. An opportunity off of the end wall as Lettieri checks the shoulder, cycles it low with Witchin in the area. Ethan Andre. Andre in over the blue line, takes a wrist shot into the glove. Holding on is Dvorak. So Bruins must started this game, let in 4 on 9 shots, and then Dvorak in to replace. And then on the other side, Ryan Franson's been a bastion of solidarity for this UCC squad. Coming away with some really key stops in this game. As the face-off goes to St. Albert. They'll send it around the wall, back to the right point. Held in, never mind. A bit of trouble with it. Here comes a chance shorthanded. Timko to the middle, unable to get the shot to go. They'll follow up on it to the near side. Higgins shielding the puck, plays it from right to left as Bick has it now, left wing for UCC. Dropped it back for Selby. Selby dumps that one in. It's knocked down by the stick side, and then Selby, an awkward play into the end wall. Cleared out the other direction. As the door from the sin bin opens, we are back 5 aside. About 6 minutes gone by in this third period. As they chip it up the wall. Ice is indicated. As the lines official looking to catch them red-handed. They'll bring everybody back out onto the ice. So Babali, Higgins, Selby, Noble, and Bick will be out on the ice for UCC. Countering will be Ruptash, McDonald, Jackson on the far side, and then McIntyre as well as Brown at the line. Babali, right side trying to pull away. Jackson contact on that far wall. Puck goes to the sky and comes back down, gloved by Babali. Down low on the half boards, a shot tipped wide and behind the cage and out to the far side corner. As Babali, far side, towards the center, tried to knock it through, no good as Bick backhands it forward. There's the stretch feed to the opposite blue line on the money. As they spin around, McDonald unable to make a clean entry into the zone, forced to tag up, and they'll go for fresh legs on this play. Burrison played ahead, then given away at the red line. Smith McIntyre would have iced it, so he decided to turn around and find Cito. Tipped in by Buchanan. That hit the lines official. Cito drops it back to Smith. Smith pass up the middle. Gaining entry over the blue line. Here comes St. Albert. Huscroft back to the line. Smith, a wrister tipped over top of the goal. As that puck works its way into the corner. Far side, they'll chip it ahead. Knocked down by Buchanan at the line. He'll play it down. Witchin, centering pass over the stick of Huscroft. Smith to Cito. Shot tipped. Franson the save. Francesco Lettieri can't clear. That one's wide. Burrison thought about tipping it, thought against it, thought better of it there. Battle down low. As that puck will work its way far side. Chipped ahead and out the other direction. And it has the legs for icing. So now the official catching them red-handed once again as they look to try and pull a few extra bodies out onto the ice. So the St. Albert Sabres down by 2. Looking to truck along and find a way back into a tie game here. UCC still holding on to the lead. They've had some solid minutes here from this lineup that's out on the ice once again. Ethan Andre as well as Elijah Jack, McCaig, and back at the blue line is Lettieri and Burrison. Keeler tried to get the check and Lettieri stepped around him, held in at the line by McIntyre. Fired down as Timko picks himself up on the far side. Shielding the puck over to McIntyre. McIntyre watched by Sykes. He'll come to the middle. Shot through traffic. Just misses wide. Ruptash following up. As it'll come around to the left point. Across to the far side. Nice one-time feed. And the wicked one-timer just mistriggered. Was a great passing play. They send a one-time pass to the far point. A one-time feed to the near circle. But the one-timer never struck true. It would have been wicked had it connected. As the Sabres not out of this one by a long shot. Still lots of hockey left to be played here, and UCC are going to have to be smart, especially with how much pressure this Sabres squad has been generating throughout this game. St. Albert, a shot from the line, deflects to the far side. Brandon Sue dropped it back to Higgins. Higgins plays ahead for Sykes. Sykes over the line, plays it ahead. As icing was the call. So they're going to bring that one back down to UCC territory. An automatic icing here for this U15 tournament. No hustle plays to beat things out here. If you want to beat it out, you got to get to it before the red line. Off of the boards, off of the window, and out the other way is St. Albert chasing after it. Then Sue taken down on his way to try and get to it, but he did beat it out. Excellent hustle there. As St. Albert, off of the window it goes, and a lot of the momentum taken off it. A little stanchion hop there. In over the line is Witchin. Witchin to the middle, Buchanan. Nice drag move, drops it back to the line. Cito across to McIntyre. McIntyre off of the boards and in behind the cage out the other side. After it is Witchin. Witchin on a backhand across, and he stops up high. Onside, McIntyre, a backhander down low. Chasing after it will be Cruz Buchanan. With it is Higgins in behind the cage. He'll play that one off a stick, and then Sykes knocked it out of the sky with the stick. Peter Sykes chasing after it. Was turned back the other direction. And dropping back it will be. Far side, then dumped in. Offside was the call with 10:18 left to go. Still a 2-goal lead for Upper Canada College here in this third period. As if you want to follow along with all of the up-to-date information about this Canadian Crown, you can head to CanadianCrownTournaments.com, and you will be prompted to choose which Canadian Crown age tournament you want to have a look at. Be sure to click on U15 Elite. You'll find all the best and brightest featured here at CanadianCrownTournaments.com, as well Canadian Crown Tournaments on Instagram. You can find them there as well. Got interviews going up throughout the days, as well as a bunch of highlights being posted by none other than Trickshot. That'll work its way all the way down to Dvorak, who covers up for safekeeping. 9:42 left in this period. As Elijah Jack and Ethan Andre coming away with some big goals in this one. Of course, Francesco Lettieri, his third goal of the day. That is a big one. As then Zach Ruptash, his second of the tournament, the shorthanded goal. That's the last goal that we've seen so far in this game. That came with 2:50 remaining in the second period. No scoring so far, halfway gone by with the third period. As UCC potentially content to take this 2-goal lead through to the house. As Franson, he thought about coming out to play that one with the stick. So Franson thought about coming out of the crease to play that one with the stick, but shades of Martin Brodeur just about, he dropped the stick entirely, but instead of then trying to make any kind of a play on it, potentially have it deflected to the goal, he just went down in the butterfly and covered it up with the glove. Happens to the best of us, but he did the right thing by just freezing play and going for a solid reset button on that one. Tangle up far side. Puck will come free down low. As they play it up the wall, an opportunity on the wing. McCaig through. Here's Andre. Andre tried to fish that one away from Brown. They'll come together in the far side, well, left wing corner, I should say. St. Albert looking to break out of the zone. That puck will come to rest around the red line. Selby now with it. Pass ahead in front of the benches. Andre to the middle. Off the skate of Selby. Cross to Hunter Higgins. Back to Selby. As Hunter Higgins took the hit to make the play. That one's dumped in as Bick goes after it. As play blown down. Not entirely sure what it was blown down for. But nonetheless, maybe it was an offside or an icing call. No, it wouldn't be because they're just going to bring it out to the neutral zone. Must have been offside. Face off near side, one towards the bench of St. Albert. As Bick pushing and shoving with his opponent. That's sent right back into St. Albert Sabre territory. Sabres on the far wing. Send it D to D as Smith working his way up the near side. Pass ahead at the blue line. Kobe Jackson following in. Heavy physicality by Van Oen as UCC continue with the puck. And gave it away. The D shoot it right back in as Smith will put it in off of the end wall. Francesco Lettieri after it. Delayed offside was the call. They're forced to tag. Nice move by Lettieri. The defender on the move takes the shot into the glove of Dvorak, and he'll just hold on with 8:08 left in the third period. Having a check-in on the game on the other side. Well. The comeback for the LA Junior Kings. As it was a 3-0 lead 3 minutes into the first period, and then it was a 4-2 game for NAX after the first period. But then halfway through the second period, it is now a 6-5 LA Junior Kings lead. As a bunch of those players who did not play this morning as they served the one-game suspension have slotted back into the game, and they have been going off. As that's an exciting game over there. Good stuff on this rink, too. Nice play! They score! Case in point, Smith McIntyre. A silky smooth move as the blue liner showing that the D-men have hands as well. Who says that a blue liner can't boogie? As he cuts across the blue paint and deposits on the forehand. Smith McIntyre, a beautiful move. And just like that, this game just got even more exciting. So now we've got 2 one-goal games on our hands at GFL Twin Arenas. 6-5 LA Junior Kings leading NAX on the other side, and now we got a 4-3 game with UCC up by 1. 2 unanswered now, though, by St. Albert as they continue to chip away. That one's fired in. It goes around and behind the cage and out the near side. Held on to, and a snap pass across. Looking ahead. Here's a chance, cut through, and onto the goal as Franson gets the pad save. Ruptash battling down low with Hunter Higgins. Brown gloved it down and held it in. Now Ethan Andre to McCaig on the right side. They gain the zone. Shot, and it's steered wide by the pad of Dvorak. Peter Sykes, back to the line it goes, tried to play it down low. Left wing side at the goal line. Centering pass off a stick and comes up to the right blue line. As Burrison in behind the goal. Backhand centering feed no good. St. Albert send it ahead. Drop feed for Ruptash. Ruptash to the backhand. As Hunter Higgins and Zach Ruptash will tangle down to the ice. Off of the wall it goes as that one looked like it tagged the official. A little worse for wear on that one as tried to shake it off after that puck looked like it might have got him in the arm. 6:02 left now in the third period as these two teams taking a 1-goal game into the late stages. Peter Sykes now. A chance, possible 2-on-1. Sykes taken down at the circle. Clean defensive play though, as here comes Witchin. Onside after it hit the skate of the lines official. Witchin across to McIntyre. McIntyre. Bick with the turnover for UCC. Chip and chase off of the wall. He'll go right in after it. A backhander into the glove of Dvorak. And he dropped that one down to his teammate, but not before the official could blow the whistle. 5:25. Father Time starting to wind down on our final game of the day here at Fisher side, but these teams clearly still with a few tricks up their sleeve to help give us a great send-off to this Thursday of hockey in Devon, Alberta. As the face-off near side, it'll be Jack for UCC. As he's able to tie up. He was up against Ruptash. UCC unable to hold the line. Back forward, Elijah Jack, a backhander to the right wing side for Noble. Back forward is Smith. In one side, out the other. Pass ahead to Keeler, and he'll relay it to the opposite side. Banked off of the wall, broken up by Francesco Leteri. Then St. Albert coming away with it, and the pinball game continues as they give it away back and forth in the neutral zone. Into St. Albert territory. They'll carry, the defense does, as Smith plays it ahead to Keeler. Keeler over the blue line. Keeler shields, finds Ruptash, knocked away by Jack on the centering feed. Here's Keeler. Feeds it through to the line. Wrister, and a glove save by Franson. They got it through to Carver Brown. That was the look they wanted on that far side. But the heavy shot from the blue line. Carver Brown let it go from distance. As that puck stays out, courtesy of the trapper of Franson. In two teams, their second contest of the day, UCC taking down the LA Junior Kings, while NAX picking up the win 7-2. As the official has had enough of the antics on the far side of, I believe it was Higgins and Huscroft. Shot tipped towards the goal. Franson found it at the last second and got the glove on top of it as the lines officials will move in to separate everybody. Little slow rolling puck right after it deflected. Still made its way through to Ryan Franson. He's able to get the glove on top of it. Yes, there's been a little bit of chippiness as after the whistles and right before the puck is dropped, players trying to find every little bit of an edge they can on one another. As the Sabres turn in their own zone and feed it up the far wing. A look over the blue line, then they dump it in. Broken up by Higgins. as a turn and play in order to try and get Selby up the near side. Sent back by a pinching defender as Sykes and Selby are down low. Witchin in after it, a heavy hit against the wall, and Witchin is going to get a boarding penalty here. As Witchin followed through on Selby, gave him a shove, a little bit away from the wall. You see it there, and took him into the boards. That is a textbook boarding call. So 3:57 remaining. UCC with a chance to try and go in for the kill. Can they find the dagger here to end off day number 1? And it looks like we might get a timeout here, but who's it going to be on? So UCC have called their timeout. Upper Canada College, they are looking to try and put this one to bed. As the timekeeper gives us the Jeopardy music. I like it. Nice touch. Our timekeepers and music player extraordinaires, the wonderful off-ice officials here at the Canadian Crown. They have been something else. So 36-19, the shots on goal in favor of St. Albert. They have pushed and pushed, huffing and puffing, but they have not been able to blow the house down of Upper Canada College thus far. They've come close. The foundation is rocking a little bit. And now this is a critical penalty kill for the Sabres. Can they turn this aside and come away with even strength hockey? Rips it off the post and wide as it'll come down near side corner. UCC now. McCaig trying to center. Back to the line. Francesco Lettieri, far side. Faked the one-timer, played it to the middle. And St. Albert send it down ice. Down to 3.5 and spare change left in this third period. Across it goes. Here's Elijah Jack. Jack in across the blue line, left wing, takes the shot, and Dvorak gobbles it up. So power play time here, 1:27 remaining, so it's going to take us to just under the 1 minute remaining mark here in this third period. So you got to wonder if the Sabres are just going to try and bide their time and survive this power play from UCC, and then at that point is when they will try to pull the netminder and go for something on the extra attacker. They got to get through the PK first, and a nice tip in front, but it goes wide. St. Albert look to hoist that one forward, glove down, and a nice move for Timko. Timko poked away by Lettieri. Finishes off the hit on the far side as the poke check back to the blue line. Elijah Jack now, 59 seconds on the power play. It's about 4 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. It's basketball terminology. Penalty clock and game clock here from Dale Fisher. Elijah Jack holding on to it at the blue line. Selby coming out to replace. Tipped, they score! Peter Sykes finding the dagger and driving it into St. Albert. 2:37 remaining in the third, and the lead has been restored for UCC. The shot from the line finds the lumber of Sykes in front. He gets it to go past Dvorak, and UCC back up by 2. Will that be it for this one, or do the Sabres have more left in the tank? Do they have some kind of a pushback? St. Albert, as Brown able to dump it in, it'll wrap around the boards to the far side. Huscroft, as Cruz Buchanan going after it. Babali unable to come away with it. Near side for Buchanan, banks it up to Brown, back to Buchanan on the half boards. Buchanan tried the drag move, couldn't get it past Babali. McCaig overskated it, stays onside, in, across, wrister off the post. Witchin puts a dent in the steal, tried to put a dent in the score sheet, but it would not happen. That close to finding a 5-4 hockey game, but the Post would have other ideas. As 36-21 the shots. Franson has stopped a bunch of them, but there's been a couple that have gone against the steal as well. And now we get the timeout for St. Albert. So that first timeout obviously going the way of UCC. They did it at the start of their power play to see if they could find the dagger, and they just may have got it. The insurance marker from Sykes. As now we get round 2 of Jeopardy music. And now the opportunity for the Sabres. We'll see what they can draw up here at the end of the contest. Again, they're down by 2. They've got just under 2 minutes to work with. Still lots of hockey to be played as far as the crunch time scenarios are concerned. So we shall see what they can come up with. What have they got up their sleeve? Well, for starters, the net is empty, so 6-on-5 for the extra attacker with the yawning cage down at the other end of the ice. So Selby, McCaig out with Sue, Bick, and Letary. At the line, McIntyre to the far wing, back up high McIntyre. Pass off, here's Ruptash, shoots, blocked. Sliding over was McCaig. Ruptash, minute 40 now left in regulation. Another one blocked, couldn't feather it through. Back over to Ruptash. Hounded there by Bick. Give and go as that one gets past Ruptash down below. Huscroft and Selby coming after it. Letary takes his man down. Back out it goes, held in, McIntyre, right circle. Here's a shot over top of the cage and off the back wall. Stays in. Ruptash down to a minute 13. Takes a shot wide of the goal. Letary can't clear. Keeler under pressure by Sue. Keeps it onside. Ruptash shoots. Tipped. Franson the save. Where is it? It's underneath him somewhere. So Ryan Franson holding the line. 2-goal lead as we're now 60 seconds left in this game. Lots of opportunities from distance as Ruptash looking to see if he can find something through the weeds right now. Lots of trees in that forest that he's trying to shoot through. Far side face-off circle as Huscroft tried to play it back to the line, and then Jack takes him against the boards. Sykes, backhander as it'll work its way towards the cage. Can they clear it away? They do. Down to 45 seconds now in regulation. Backhander in behind the cage for Smith McIntyre. He'll play it up the near side. They try and poke it around Sykes. They do. Huscroft, but Sykes coming together, stopping that forward progress. Puck took a deflection. Down to 27 seconds left here in regulation. St. Albert got to go quick here. 20 seconds left. Ruptash going for a stroll. Far wing, takes the shot, kick save, rebound to the near side for Hunter Higgins. Steps through as Ethan Andre, that one off his stick and out of the zone. 5 seconds left. That will do it. One last shot down the ice. 5-3 is your final score as Upper Canada College. 2 wins on the day here to kick off the Canadian Crown. As the St. Albert Sabres dropping to 0-2 after they dropped the decision to NAX earlier today and then come up just shy against UCC here in the evening conclusion. A solid showcase from Ryan Franson as he stopped somewhere in the realm of 33 to 34 shots. As, of course, he had to go to the bench for a little bit as Dax Partridge came in while his helmet was being fixed. as the netminders will head to the front of the line to start the handshake line. You love to see it. Lots of physicality and a hard-fought contest, but at the end of the day, the players showing the ultimate sign of respect with the handshake line here, one of the most impressive sights in all of hockey. A couple of handshakes for the officials as well, too. As that'll be our final game of the day now. Still a couple formalities left, though, as we've got our player of the game presentations as well as the hustle and heart presentations. So 4 awards going out. We've got the players of the game, one each side, and then the energy player, the hustle player, the extra mile kind of guy. That will be given out as well. So 4 awards total coming up here post-game for these two teams. And then after that, we'll have a brief hello and goodbye in the broadcast booth, and then we'll say sayonara until tomorrow. 38-21, your final shots on goal as UCC now 2-0. 2 regulation wins, so a solid start to try and get themselves to a berth in the A division for semifinal Saturday. So first one up is Smith McIntyre. I'm going to assume that's player of the game from St. Albert. Indeed it is. He gets the hat. And Elijah Jack coming away with the player of the game for UCC. Could have almost argued it could have been Ryan Franson. We'll see if he gets hustle and heart. Hustle and heart. It's going to go to Brady McDonald on the side of St. Albert. And Francesco Lettieri coming away with the hustle and heart on this side of UCC. So there you have it. Your 4 players coming away with the awards here in this final game on Dale Fisher from day one. As the Canadian Crown, the U15 Elite, a solid opening day all around. Some exciting contests, both here on Dale Fisher and over on Shane Zender. But we are only just beginning. As the Canadian Crown, we know it. We love it. It's a 4-day affair, and we have just made it through the first day. As we'll bring you up into the broadcast booth one final time here from Dale Fisher Rink. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trick Shot Sports Production that does not miss. What a day it's been. It was supposed to be 5 games. It was cut down to 4 as the Illinois game was rescheduled to tomorrow night over on the Zender Rink. So again, if you're an Illinois fan, you're looking to find that game, that is when it will be. So Illinois now has 2 games tomorrow. Originally, they were going to play 2 today, 1 tomorrow. That has just flip-flopped. So nevertheless, all of the games will be played. We will get all the round robin through and then come away with the realignment ahead of semifinal Saturday. A solid game here to finish off day number 1 as the St. Albert Sabres, they pushed and pushed and pushed, and they got within 1. They peppered Ryan Franson all game long, and in the end, they come up just shy as they drop the 2-goal decision. It was a 1-goal game until that late power play goal as Mr. Clutch, Peter Sykes, coming away with the dagger to help get his team the victory here at the end of Thursday night. But that's it. That's all for the broadcaster this evening. Again, Ian Wilson with you. It's been an honor and privilege to help provide the coverage for day number 1 alongside the incredible crew of Trick Shot. Happy to have you with us wherever you find us from. And hey, let's do it all again tomorrow, shall we? As always, do us a favor. Be the best version of yourself. Be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.